and welcome to Ignite with Mwangala, with me, Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Now remember, the aim of this show is to bring you real people with real stories meant to leave a lasting and positive impact on your lives. Now today we go all the way to meet the president of the UPND, which happens to be Zambia's largest opposition political party, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Mr. Hichilema opened his home to us, and by the way, he calls it the community house. Welcome to Ignite with Mwangala. In fact, I feel you should be the one to welcome me because we are in your home, and I believe you call it the community house. Why do you call it the community house?
Thank you very much, Mwangala. You're welcome here.
Thank you so much.
To this community house. And the welcome is extended not only to you, but to also the whole crew, the whole team, and the studio team that you've left behind, and the management of the television station. So we're very pleased to have you here, and really warmly welcome you here to this community house. We call it community house because it is open to the people of Zambia. Once you place yourself in a position that I have, to seek public office, to serve the people, they must be welcome to your home. Hence, this property belongs to the community of the people of Zambia.
Thank you so much. I actually feel so much at home. You know, I was telling my crew that, you know, you're leaving me here today. I'm not going back to the station. Now, today it's about you. I know if we say HH, the first thing that comes to people's minds is obviously your political life. But we're saying there is more to his political life. He also has the other side that probably most Zambians don't know about you. Take us back to your early life, growing up as a young boy. How was that like?
Well, first I'm a citizen of Zambia. It's very important because we hear a lot of speculations about that issue. Citizens by birth, both parents citizens. Our grandparents, mother's side, father's side, citizens. Actually, it is said that in our home in Wengwa, as you may know that Wengwa is a historical place, politically. Check your history on the political independence struggle. That's a place where a lot of cattle were raised to fund the freedom struggle. It's in our home in Wengwa. It is said that our family must have been there over 1,000 years. Because we have pre-Stone Age sites, Stone Age sites, Iron Age sites in our area. Actually, in the place I'm headman. By the way, are you aware I'm senior headman in the village?
So shall I call you headman Hakainde?
No, really, just HH.
Okay.
Just HH.
All right.
In the place where I'm senior headman Hakainde. Senior headman Hakainde, right? I'm Hakainde, I'm senior headman Hakainde. I found the name in the family ancestral heritage. We have Stone Age sites, which indicates that our community, and particularly our family, very large family, has inhabited that area for that long. So, true Zambian, grew up in the village, and Wengwa, Monze West, and went to primary school there, local primary school, grade 1 to grade 4, then moved on to a place somewhere in west of Pemba, where my uncle was teaching, you know, those days, and did my primary, upper primary, grade 5, 6, 7. Then I went to secondary school in Kalomo, Form 1, and from there, national service. I'm a trained soldier myself.
Oh, wow.
You may not know that. And then University of Zambia. And the rest is history. And, you know,
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you proudly say I was born in the village and grew up in the village, and here you are today. When did you go to university?
I went to university in 1981. Yeah.
And thereafter, way back.
Yeah, way back. But I think let's just stay a little bit on village upbringing.
Yeah.
I was born in a grass-thatched house, not in a maternity wing of a clinic or hospital. In a grass-thatched house, you know, traditional birth attendants brought us up into the world, and through assisting, obviously, our mother.
Yeah.
And grew up in that environment, tended cattle at an early age. That's a business we knew. You can actually...
How old were you when you were tendering cattle?
Oh, we start as early as when you start walking. Because the first assignment is to basically look after cows. As you get to 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years up, you're looking after cows. When you get to 5 years, you start going out to look after the cows. And there we learnt responsibility. We learnt accountability.
Yeah.
We learnt the art and habit of work, hard work. It stems from there. It doesn't just occur from nowhere.
Exactly.
You don't pluck it from the trees.
Not at all.
It is an upbringing.
Yeah.
That is what we learned. And we're very proud and happy that we came from that environment. And that's why our hearts are out there with the people.
Yeah,
in
because
the village,
you've been there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're one of them.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now let's talk about your beautiful, amazing, strong, brave wife. Now, I know a lot of men out there actually say that, you know, I am looking for a mutinta in my life, which simply means...
Nice to hear.
Yes, which simply means she's amazing. She's an amazing woman. Tell us how you met. Where did you meet?
I met this woman in Lusaka. Yeah. And I was not... I've never been a socialite myself. So I've been serious from childhood. So I met her, put my eyes on her. I said, I think she's the one.
Was it love at first sight?
No.
I like
Observation.
that. Observation.
Over time. Quite thoughtful.
Yeah.
I've always been a thoughtful guy. So
in everything, including your love life?
Generally, you can describe me as a thoughtful person. We don't work on impulse. We do work on a bit of, you know, thoughtfulness, asking questions. Is it the correct way to go? Is there an alternative?
Yeah.
Is that rushed? Should we hold back? Have we done all the assessment, reasonable assessment? Depending on the age, the younger we were, we weren't spending that much time to assess things. So she was assessed, no question about it. And then a decision was made.
Oh, great.
You know,
how
the
old
issue
were
of
you?
love is an emotional one.
Oh, yes. How old were you when you got married?
I was 26.
Wow.
I think, yeah, 26. Quite early.
How did you know that was her?
You know her when you see her.
I like that.
Yes. You know her when you see her.
So when you saw her, you knew that she is the one?
Yes, over time. Couple of months of assessment.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now let's talk about your
And we weren't driving, we were walking. We used to meet in the bus stops, right? Then eventually I figured out where she worked. And, you know, did my...
So you met when she was already working? What were you doing at the time?
I was working.
Okay.
After graduating, you know, this is another thing really, madam, young lady, right? Is I wrote my final exam at UNZA on a Friday, took a rest on Saturday, Sunday. Monday I had a full-time job. Literally, after my last exam, I had only 2 days to rest. Then I went into a job. So I started work very early.
Were you hunting while you were in school? Were you job
I was
hunting?
on an attachment.
Okay.
There used to be a system that was called attachment or secondment. During second, third year, I worked for a firm called Corpus Library. So, and obviously based on my third year results, the employers were confident, luckily, that would graduate.
Wow.
So they offered me a job. Basically, I had a job. You can argue that I had a job when I was a third-year student. So by the time I did my final fourth year and 2 days rest, I had a job. And that's what we like to do for the people, for the children of Zambia.
Wow.
To return to those days when we were in office, to attach students in colleges and universities to industry. So it makes it easier for them to get a job.
Now, I know everything you have acquired has been through hard work. I know you're a hard worker. Take us through, you know, the first time when you bought your first cow. For me, I know you as one who has so many animals. Take us back to at what age you were at when you had your first animal.
Well, you need to know that the culture that side into which we were born is that when you are born, if your father or mother or uncle, it was a collective, the way we worked in that village, in that area, is a collective. If you are lucky, you are given a cow, a female one, not a male one. Big difference, eh? A female one. So that was my first cow. Calf. Young one. They don't give you an old one. They actually give you one which is still stacking to test so many things, including your patience to wait. They need to wait to nurse it. So that's the first gift I had.
Wow.
One. But your question, I think, is slightly different. I understand it deeper.
Yeah.
What we got from the village, we left there. We never took it away.
Yeah.
So the first farm, after we started working, or somewhere in Choma, we bought a small farm. Then we bought a ranch in Chisamba, where we started with 6 cattle. Literally 6 cattle. And today, I think you know the story.
Exactly. So when you say we, are you referring to your wife?
Family.
Family.
Always we represents, there is no individualism in our communities. It is the we.
I like that.
Husband, wife.
Yeah.
It's a we, the children.
Yeah.
Immediate children. It is the we, the extended family. And then obviously to the broader community. And that's the way my mind is framed.
So it's always
we exist for others, not just ourselves. Yes.
I like that principle. Where did you learn that from?
Upbringing.
Upbringing.
Grew up in a large family. You know, where we come from, extended families, they're huge. They're huge.
When you say huge, what are the numbers? What are we looking at?
I'll give you an example. When we were 6-year-olds, we shared a meal, maybe 26 of us.
Wow.
Similar age group. Slightly bigger boys who were bullying us, but on average.
Okay.
A group is eating there, another group is eating there, and that's how it was. So we learned it from there. Wow.
Can you attribute the man that you've become now to where you're coming from?
Indeed.
Because you seem to be very principled, you seem to know, you know where you're going, you know what you want. You seem to be a go-getter. Other than your upbringing, do you think you would allude that to your parents? Do you have any mentor that helped you to become what you are today?
Yeah, I think number one, the upbringing.
Yeah.
Which is really God's choice. No one chooses where you are born. And that's very important for this community called Zambia to understand. No child chooses who the father and mother is. It's a decision of God through father and mother, how they met, how they loved each other. No child is responsible for that. You're brought up in there. So, but it's that community that brought you up, that molds you at that early stage. And you know that sticks in your mind. Your early engagement sticks in your mind. So yes, the upbringing. And for us, the farming upbringing. It just printed something in this head. 2, I think it's a school.
Yeah.
Let us be clear and fair. Added on to this best is the school, number 2. Education is the best equalizer. And we must grant it to our children of Zambia. We're determined to do that. Even orphans, those underprivileged children, coming out of the village, like myself, went to school first 3 years without shoes, right? Very proud of that.
So those pictures we saw are true?
Oh, very much, very much. And then you're a child in Chamboli, in Kitwe, in Chama, Chief Kambombo, in Manjawantu, you are, in Shangombo, you are equal. in my mind, in our mind, children are equal, born equal. They must have access to opportunity. It starts with education. Of course, I'll bring in education.
Yeah.
Number 3, experience. What did you do after school, after college? I went to work for a professional firm, Coopers and Library. British firm, global firm. Learnt a lot. I think it's fair to acknowledge that we learnt a lot.
Yeah.
Discipline, hard work, deliverables, on time. And if you didn't do your work, you knew it, you did not succeed. You knew it. You were praised every 6 months in the office. And many of our colleagues didn't make it. God's will, we made it.
Yeah.
Actually made it quite early in life. That too is a blessing. And I say thank you to the colleagues that gave us that experience. So after which, really, then you return to your old ways. How you utilize your education, how you utilize the experience, work experience, how you utilize the business opportunities. For me, I started business at a very early age.
Who inspired you to start business?
I think it was, as I said, the early days.
Yeah.
Self-reliance. A culture of giving, not taking.
Yeah.
You can't give what you have not created.
Exactly.
So you needed to work to create. First for yourself, for your family, extended, remember I said we, extended family.
Yeah.
Now we're seeking public office to give our skill, our experience, our ways of doing things to the broader family called Zambia, 17+ million people. So I think it comes from that culture. So all of the things you get later on in life eventually return you to your upbringing, which then drives you to get to certain ways of doing it. Of course, it's true that at an early stage, I got exposed to traveling. Regional, internally in the country, regionally, globally. Very, very educative. Very educative, you know? Because you may think that your mother is the best cook, because you haven't eaten food from another one.
Yeah.
As you travel, you begin to see different things, the way of doing things, the culture, approach to business, approach to work. A lot of people think that the first world countries are lucky. I disagree, madam. They work hard. At individual level, I was working in a London office. First, in the Birmingham office of Coopers and Library. Hard work. There was no issue of 8 hours to 17 hours. That's not how we defined work in the firm, in my business interaction. The work was defined by deliverables. Deliverables. On time.
Like that. Yeah.
And then you realize that in there, out there, young people make real money because opportunities are there. They've had education. There are opportunities in the workplace, in the business place. Governments support their people. Governments support their people. They don't work against their people. They support their people. And that's why you see a lot of success stories out there. And as I traveled around, I said, we can do it in Zambia.
True.
We have all the resources. We can do it. I think that's a combination of the motivation. And I must be honest with you. We Africans believe, let me be fair, many Africans believe that we must share, we must give. I do believe we must share and give. But we cannot share poverty. We have to create
the
value,
wealth first, yeah.
the wealth, then we can distribute. Otherwise, you distribute emptiness, and we all suffer. We should not allow a country to run on that basis. Thank you.
Okay. Now, talking about wealth, perception out there is that you are Zambia's most wealthiest person. Is that true?
There are lots of perceptions out there.
Would you say that it's true? You're among the wealthiest people?
I think we are fortunate. Let me answer your question this way. We are fortunate to have, first, to be alive. Life belongs to God. We're very fortunate. Many young people die before they reach the age of 5. You know the infant mortality rate.
Yeah.
You know deaths at birth, both the child and the mother. We're thankful to God that we're alive. Second, we had the education, opportunity, which we want to give to other children of Zambia. Because I feel for them. I see myself in them. Then
That's
the experience
powerful.
we had. Then the opportunity to do business. So I say we are fortunate in that sense. But remember I said that it's not lucky. It's hard work.
It's hard work,
so you
for
get the
sure.
opportunity, utilize it.
Yeah.
So we were able to utilize an opportunity that came our way. You may say we found it or we looked for it or it came our way, it doesn't matter. But we utilized it. So I must say thank you for that. But more important, at my level now, in my situation now, what we have, I've described we.
Yes. You keep saying
Limited to the family does not matter anymore. A child who is not in school out there, it hurts me. It should hurt you.
Yeah.
Because they should be in school. Because that's the best investment you can give to children, education. Why are they not in school? Parents are not able to take them to school. But where is the government? Government must take care of those who are less privileged. It's not happening now. So to talk about wealth is not what my priority is anymore. My priority, I must be honest with you. I think it's important to be honest with you.
Please.
In my early days, we drove a hard bargain.
Uh-huh.
We worked very hard. We had set our eyes on certain things.
Which you achieved.
Yeah.
Was it easy?
Let me accept yes. We always want to do more.
Yeah.
But let me say yes. It was not easy. Nothing is easy. And let's not deceive people out there that you can have a good life without working hard. That's a contradiction. You want a good life? It's my message to young people. You better work hard. But you can't work hard if you're not granted the opportunity. That's where government comes in.
Yeah.
To give opportunities to the people. Land. Contracts. Taking care of citizens before you take care of foreigners. It's just common sense. But today you see citizens are struggling to get 1 acre of land. Foreigners come in, they get 10,000 hectares of land. Zambian land. Then we blame the foreigners. That's wrong. We must blame the government, the system that is giving foreigners land and denying citizens, Zambian citizens, land. That's my understanding. So let me return to the question. It does not matter anymore to me, to us, what God may have allowed possible.
For you.
For us. And we're only custodians, by the way.
Yeah.
We're only
I like
custodians.
that.
Exactly. We're only custodians. Because what we have belongs to God.
Yeah.
We are only custodians. And if He didn't give it to us, He would have given to other people. And that scares me to hell. And that's why we like to help other people. So I think, madam, we are in this little, I hate certain words, but let me use it, privilege. But through hard work, having seen the opportunity. That's what we want to give to other Zambians.
I like that. What drives you?
We were made by God to love. You asked me how I met my wife.
Yes. And you didn't finish that story.
Wow.
Because there are so many young men that are looking for the mutintas in their lives. One just told me that, look, I'm looking for a mutinta in my life. I said, what do you mean?
I'm humbled.
Strong, brave, courageous, who I think stands by you.
I'm humbled that people can emulate my wife. I must probably thank my wife at this stage that I am a very fortunate man. Very, very fortunate. There are many things we would have not been able to do without her.
Wow.
To raise 3 children, mind you, we had difficulties not raising, in getting the gift of children. She endured that. Sometimes family insinuate things. She was strong. The strength you see now comes from a long way. And she got my support. Eventually, God blessed us with 3 kids. But back to the issue. God matches people. Yeah. But you have to know that God has matched you with somebody.
How do you know?
It shows. It shows. If you don't rush for anything which glitters because you think is God, because everything that glitters is not God, you have to examine it. There are plastics that look like God.
True.
They're not.
Yeah.
So that's where the patience, the thoughtfulness comes in. But it's also a click. Love is also, as I said, it's an emotional issue. There's a click there. And then once you find that gift from God, like I found her, I think it's important to respect your partner. It's important to work with your partner. It's important to give disclosure to your partner.
Wow.
My wife is a signatory to all our bank accounts. All of them. Wow. So I get surprised that some people, wives will say, no, but if the husband is sick, now they need money for medical bills. And because the husband is bedridden, is sick, can't sign a check, they can't access money. It
becomes a problem.
But where is the wife?
Now, you're a Tungabu. Is one wife enough for you?
I told you we were 26 of us sharing a meal on average.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's good.
Yeah.
But I took a decision that I will have one wife.
One is enough for you.
Because I came from a polygamous situation.
Yeah.
And the things that are good, the things that I didn't like. Especially sharing love. You can't share love.
Really?
You cannot share intimate love with more than one partner.
It has to be one.
In my
or
view.
None at all.
No, it has to be one. In my view. But when you connote Ametongabu, you are assuming that I must have more than one.
Again, perception out there.
Yes.
That, you know, I'm a Tongabu, so I can have them all.
One is enough. One is enough. You get a gift of one proper match, it's enough. I'm not saying that people shouldn't divorce. People do divorce for different reasons. Respect all of them. But at the same time, 2 wives, 3 wives, no.
One is
As
enough.
you see me sit here, I look after so many children. Some are relatives, some are just orphaned in school. On average, every year we have 25 plus children in school who are not ours. We have 3 biological children, but we have many. Some graduate, we take in more. From all the parts of Zambia, up to from primary to university. And many of those come from family setups where the husband has more relationships.
Yeah. And that becomes a problem.
And becomes a problem. Pushes out the wife from the home, sends the wife away with 2, 3 kids. That's not good. That is not good. Yet the alumni of a big family is good. But that part, I said, no. So, but I still look after many kids because that upbringing allows me to care, to feel for others. But one wife is enough. Not to belabor the point.
Wow, okay.
One husband for you is enough.
Oh yes, one husband.
Do you agree?
Of course I agree.
All right.
I can only have one husband.
Well,
You've told me that you have one wife, so one husband is okay for me.
So we agree?
We agree.
Perfect.
We are in agreement.
I think the important thing, let's be serious a little bit.
Yeah.
The important thing is as to bring up children on earth who you can look after.
Yeah, true. That is important.
You shouldn't abandon children.
Yeah.
Because it devastates young people. It disadvantages young people. Makes them feel inadequate. Makes them feel that they are not loved.
True.
And they could end up growing up with anger.
And we don't want that.
And we don't want that.
Yeah.
Because the consequences of the next thing, it's a flip side.
True.
It's a downward spiral of crime, of other things.
True.
I'm not saying only kids from that environment are prone to crime, but you create an environment where they are unhappy, we may not even be talking about crime. We may be talking about underperformance in school.
Exactly.
Because they feel they are missing something. We should not do that to children. We should give them their best.
Wow. If you're joining us now, I'm talking to HH, the president for Zambia's largest opposition political party, the UPND. Now, what is that one thing that Zambians don't know about you?
First, it's good we discuss my wife.
Yeah.
Very fortunate guy. Ask her. Maybe she's not fortunate. Maybe she sees me as something
I'll
else.
ask her before we leave.
Absolutely. But I have 3 biological kids.
Yeah.
Because people make this confusion when I say we look after so many kids, 25 average a year who are not ours, orphaned across the country. Someone insinuated that I have many wives and many girlfriends because I talked about children. I think they didn't understand what I meant. So let me make it clear today.
Yeah.
I have 3 children biological with this one wife, a daughter who we love so much, 2 sons. So she's the older, then the 2 boys, biological. But we have many kids from the extended family we look after. Marrying, paying lobola, negotiating things, all over.
Yeah,
it's daily. But I do it with pleasure, right? Great pleasure. This is the second group of kids or family members. Then we have the kids we sponsor in school who need sponsorship, who deserve sponsorship. I'm proud one of my kids we sponsor, who I picked from Mfuwe, Wangwa, on one of my trips. I won't mention his name, just to protect him, as I don't mention the names of many.
Do you just randomly pick them like that?
There's a bit of a system, but it's a family-based system.
Okay.
We do it as a family.
Okay.
We've done it for the last 26 years. We started very early. Before we had our own kids, I thought we had issues. We lost the first 3 kids, right, with my wife. And she had complications in giving birth, so we lost 3. And then from there on, even before we had our own surviving child, this daughter was born in a house and found 8 other kids in there who we were looking after already. And then we started sponsoring kids, orphan children, from that early age, 26 years ago, 27 years ago, actually, plus, 27 plus. It's a habit. So sometimes they come our way by recommendation.
Yeah.
Because the question is that, how do you pick them? By recommendation of communities that rub shoulders with us. As we visit a village, we come across one. We make this decision purely between the 2 of us, my wife and I. We take someone who knows we do it, request that, can you add on this child? When the room allows, headroom allows, we say yes. Others like this one, 2007 or so, 2007, 2008. One of our members, UPND members, comes to a meeting with a child. 14 hours, 15 hours, in Mfuwe. And after the meeting, I said, but why are you coming to a meeting on a Tuesday with this child? And this child is blind. He says, no, he's not in school. Why is he not in school? Because there's no money. Father and mother, there's no money. They said, no. I said, this is unacceptable. Mangala, I felt so bad. And the money they were looking for was very little money. Yeah. Very, very little money. And I said to my guy I moved with, Chakawa, I said, Chakawa, take note of the mother and the child, and pick it up from there. I'll negotiate with my wife that this kid must go to school. We picked that boy from 2007, 2008. I'm proud to say that this year he'll be completing as a teacher. Oh, wow. He's in a college, teacher training college for the blind. Wow. I'm very proud. Okay. Mwangala, I'm very proud. And I urge other Zambians out there to do something. Do something. Just sponsor 1, 2 more children more than those that you raised, you brought up. Just 1, 2 more.
For sure, because you lose nothing at all. Now I'm looking at you. You are a warrior. You have a spirit of a champion. You never give up easily. I mean, you've stood you've contested for elections, I think 5 times now. You've lost, but you keep coming back. Why do you keep doing it?
That's a number. I don't count a number.
I know. I mean,
I don't count a number. Our sights are set on bettering the lives of this child from Fue. Bettering the people of Zambia's lives, giving them opportunity. That's what matters to us.
Where do
This
you
is a
draw
rich
your
country.
strength? Where do you draw your strength from? Because I think it's not easy.
From inside.
Wow.
From inside. Early on in my political life, a lot of people thought, there's a weakling here.
Yeah.
No. Again, culturally, there's a perception in our country, if you talk too much, then you know things. So the way they see you as Zambians, society, community, they make a judgment. Don't judge the book by the cover. The inside is strong. The outside may look humble and nice, or big ears, doesn't matter. The inside is strong. Remember? Sense of purpose.
I love that.
A mission to redeem this country.
Yeah.
That's our mission. And this is a rich country, Mangala. Its people are too poor. Why? Because of leadership.
True.
So we don't count those issues. Let others count. Focus. Support the people. Leadership is the key. To anything, leadership is the key. You run a business, if a business succeeds, it's the leadership. Business succeeds, it's the leadership. I mean, it fails, it's the leadership. The country is the same. It's not different. We got to bring the country back to seriousness. There's a lot of jokes. Corruption is now called the new normal. You steal, you buy fire tenders at a high price, you get away with it. That's the new normal. You build expensive roads, you steal the money in the process, money which is borrowed, that's the new normal. No. We must change the way we run public office. That's the motivation. For what? To better the lives of the people of Zambia. Like this child from Fue.
Yeah, because there are many out there.
I can trade that with anything. And remember what I said earlier? There comes a time you work for your micro family, extended family. This is the time to work for the Zambian family.
Wow, I love that. Now, the purpose of this show, obviously, is to inspire people.
Yeah.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned from your own life? If you look back today, I mean, you're HH, you have it all. What are some of the lessons?
No one has it all. Don't say that.
Of God,
Yeah.
you blessed him.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are some of the lessons you'd like to share with us?
I think it's important to have a sense of direction.
Yeah.
From an early age. It's very important to have a sense of direction. It's important to walk towards that sense of direction, mission, and keep walking.
Yeah.
Digressions come on the way. Keep walking, keep going there. Eyes on the ball. Very important.
Despite the obstacles.
The obstacles will be there. They're always there. They're always there. If one thinks there are no obstacles along the way and they will achieve what they want, you're mistaken. Completely mistaken. Keep walking there. Don't listen. You hear the bird, eh?
Yes.
We're in an interview. Nice, the bird.
Oh, yeah.
But my eyes are on your questions.
Oh, yes.
My attention is on your questions.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Very important. Because that could be digressional. Nice as it is. Thirdly, work hard. You just can't get what you have set your eyes on by word of mouth. Work hard. Work hard. I am taking for granted the other things, the skills.
Yeah.
You must have them.
Yeah.
I'm taking for granted other things that the opportunity must be there. I take it as a given. I take it as a given that facilitation is there. And if it's not there, it must be made available. What is facilitation? We talked about land. Zambians must have land. To build a house, to build a house, to build a factory, to build, to farm. Facilitation must come from government. They must have access to capital. That facilitation must come from government. For us, that's what we believe in, UPND government. You must have skill support, extension service, technical support. That must be organized by government. You must have a couple of other things, but I do not believe you can succeed further if you don't love what you're doing.
So you have to love what you're doing.
You have to love what you're doing.
What is your message to the young people that are watching you now? Because everybody says, oh no, I want to be like HH. Now we know for you to become HH, you have to work hard, you have to be focused, you know.
Set your eyes on the ball.
Is that the message for the young people?
That's a message for young people. For the young people, get your education first, your skills. And no skill is bad. Take it from me. If you're a plumber, don't feel inferior. You're a carpenter, don't feel inferior. Who roofed that house? There. It's a carpenter.
Yeah.
Don't you admire that roof?
We do. We do.
So why would a carpenter feel inferior? So be proud of the skill you have. Set your eyes on the ball. Get the skill you have. Use that skill. Love what you do. Work hard. Ensure that you can access the support mechanisms that are around. Failure is inside your own head.
That's powerful.
Equally, success is inside your own head.
That's very powerful.
So that even when the door is closed, knock and the door shall be
opened.
Ask and they shall be given. You can't know everything.
Yeah.
You have to get the support of other people. But you want a good life, my fellow young people, you must work. Work doesn't kill. I can proudly now, rarely I do such things, I can proudly say to you that I am an example, but you can be better than me, of that. Work does not kill. It makes you healthier, physically, body-wise, mind-wise. Laziness kills, because if you are sick, you can't get medicine, you die.
Of course.
So work does not kill. It builds, it strengthens. Are you aware that in all my working life, I never went on leave?
Oh.
I don't believe in leave.
How many years was that?
Well, call it working life, including business. I combine working, meaning employment, and business.
Yeah.
All the years. I retired to do politics, I was 43 years old.
Wow.
So from the time I was 24 when I started working to 43 years old, it's not a long time.
Of course.
It's a short time.
Of course not.
I never took leave.
Wow.
Because I don't believe in leave. It's me. I'm not saying leave is bad. Because it's a state of mind. If you feel tired, it's because you have allowed, the mind has allowed the body to feel tired. I hear many people, Nalema. But you look at the work they've done, they're saying Nalema. It's not much work. So,
talking about Kulema, do you work out? I'm looking at how you have the physique. And I'm thinking, do you jog? What do you do to keep fit?
I'm not telling you my secrets.
You can tell me one little secret. We never get a chance like this one.
We exercise
a lot.
It's a long way back.
Is it a way of life for you now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so all of us are getting excited with this working out thing. You started way back.
Oh, way back. But part of, first, as a cattle boy. It's physique.
It's physique, yeah.
Crossing streams. We used to be out in a cattle post when we closed school until we opened school. And you're out the whole day. It just became part of you. But then into the professional office, there was no games around. Then it becomes part of you. Then the physical side, I won't say much.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
If you were on your deathbed and you were given a second chance to live, what would you do differently?
Many things. I would have started business much earlier. I started early, but I would have started business much earlier. As I have grown older, traveled across the country, it's a beautiful country. 10 provinces of Zambia, all of them endowed differently. Endowed, I mean resources.
Yeah.
Before you start digging for minerals, just the soil, the water, the grass, it's so much wealth. I go to Luapula, I look at Tuta Bridge there, I look at the grass, I look at the water. Many people, I ask my guys, what have you seen down there? It says water. What else have you seen? It says grass. I said, look again.
Yeah.
They tell me the same thing. I said, look, me, I see money there.
Yeah.
I see opportunity. I see what. How much beef you can raise on those plains in Wapula? How much cattle? So if I was younger, 30 years old, I would say, people of Kalabo, I want to settle in Sishekano. People of Luapula, can I settle in Samfya, around Tuta Bridge? And I would make it after 10 years.
Wow.
From zero, from scratch.
From scratch, 10 years.
I'm telling you how wealthy this country is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about the wealth of this country, how many animals do you have? Can you put a number to it?
Are you serious? You want me to answer that question?
Yes.
Can I ask you how much money you have in the bank?
Yes.
You shouldn't answer that question.
But of course,
I can ask you, but you shouldn't answer that question.
But plus minus, because we're getting all the, you know, the estimates out there. He has
Too many stories out there.
You have say, can you?
A humble response to your question is that we have a bit of cattle. We have a bit of cattle. But the most important thing is that this country can feed, in terms of beef, the whole region. God gave us the water, the grass, the plains. Barosi Plains alone. If you included Valo Valley, as it was called, Barosi Plains, from Chavuma, the Zambezi Plains, from Chavuma down Lukulu, right? Into Mongu, Kalabo, into Senanga, Sesheke, that plain alone can raise us so much foreign exchange.
With ease?
Absolutely. With the only three things you need. The seed, which is the cattle, right? That's all you need. And the genetics. Number two, because you have the grass and the water, very key. Number three, the management. And that's why we are seeking leadership, to provide the management. God gave us the resource endowment of grass and water, and the seed we can buy, the genetics we can buy. Then the management comes from leadership.
Wow.
That plain alone is enough to raise cattle more than the head Botswana has. Remember, Botswana is exporting a lot of beef.
Yeah.
It's the leadership, it's the management.
Wow.
The resource endowment is it. I was born on the Kafio flats. And that's the only reason I'm a cattle person. Right?
Would you do any other business other than cattle?
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Cattle was it's just one.
Okay.
We have corporate businesses.
For
People ask me this question. We do other things.
Yeah.
And as I said, I started early. Because you asked me if I was to start again, what would I do? I would start business early.
Wow.
But I also want young people to know they can be much better than Hakainde. That's my dream. That's our dream, that when we take public office, we will facilitate, create opportunities for young people, the women, you know, the ordinary citizens, to access opportunity for them to be better, to be bigger than Hakainde.
Wow, that's powerful.
And many other people.
Now, talking about leadership, I know there's so many things that you'd want to do for this country.
Yes.
Now, if you became president, what is that one thing that you would do for this country? Only one. I know you have so many.
Only one?
One that keeps you awake in the night.
Improve the lives of the people of Zambia. Improve the lives of the people of Zambia. Starting with the skills, give them education. All. All. It doesn't matter who you are. After school, college, get a job opportunity. Right? Business opportunity. We will grant that. We will facilitate that. We know what to do. We know the things we need to touch to make that possible. Wow. And they're not being done now. And then Remember I was talking about facilitation. Give capital access. For example, why should mining licenses be given to foreigners? New mining licenses. We want to give them to Zambians. Then they can use that as a capital contribution in a joint venture. Very important.
Powerful.
So, improve the lives of the people of Zambia. Opportunity. It's a big story around there. Msalaka. It's a big story around there. But that's what keeps us awake in the night.
Powerful. Do you believe that leadership comes from God?
God provides the opportunities. Yes, God provides the opportunities. But it's his people, that generation, living at that time, to hear God's call, to take that direction where he wants them to. If they don't listen, we know in the Bible, God gave his children who were not listening, he gave them sore. And they started complaining. I'm answering the question, is leadership from God? Yes, but God works through the generation that's alive because he can't do everything for us. He guides us. If we go the wrong way, we pay the price. The Bible says where there's no proper leadership in the leaders, the people perish, isn't it?
Sure.
I think God is now telling us, this side has failed, the current, let us move this way. It's up to us to hear God's call. I'm a Christian, an Adventist, but I also know the body of Christ is one. I respect the Catholic Church, New Apostolic Church, United Church of Zambia, evangelical Christians, born agains, everybody. The body of Christ is one. Let us hear God's direction as we move into 2021. Let us not pretend that we are not hearing him. How does God speak to us? It's through the people who are suffering, the children who are not in school, the people who have only 1 meal a day. That's God's message, to say, you are in the wrong camp. Can we gravitate to the right camp? God-fearing leadership, a leadership that loves the people. When you love the people, you work for them, you don't steal from them. You give them support. You don't take away from them, as what we see here today.
Your message to the people that are watching, particularly, you know, Ignite is about igniting that something in you. And that's just what you've done. For me, and I'm sure even for the viewers back home, what is your message to the people that are watching us now?
I know what you're going through, people of Zambia. I know the challenges you're having. Even to put food on the table every day, to have 3 meals a day. I know we have families that are having only 1 meal a day. And in small quantities, because they have no money. I'm aware that retirees have not been paid, many of them. Some have died. I'm aware that even in the civil service, your job security is not assured. I'm aware. Because you can be retired in national interest anytime for political accusations. I'm aware that those who have completed college, over 50,000 of them, maybe nurses, they may be teachers, are not in employment. I'm aware. We are aware of those difficulties. But I ask you not to lose hope. Because there's a leadership waiting out there of the UPND that will address those problems, that will bring back normalcy into our communities. We don't want the new normal of corruption. We don't want that. We don't want the new normal of hunger. We don't want the new normal of laziness. We don't want the new normal of so many negatives. We want to return to the normal. Put the coronavirus issues aside. That's a virus, that's a pandemic. I'm talking of the generality in generality. Let's return Zambia on a path of progress, on a path of development. But to do that, we have to work together. We've always worked together to deliver independence. There was no tribalism. There was no say, oh, uyu ni wakuchipata, uyu ni muwemba, uyu ni muloshi, ezekolozi zibaloshi, uyu ni mtonga, what. We just had a common purpose. We delivered independence. 1991, there was no isms. There was no mutundu. We delivered multipartism, removed one-party state, sense of purpose, common objective. 2001, we all came together to refuse the third term for somebody. May his soul rest in peace. Including ministers of the MMD in 2001 and the Vice President, Christon Tembo. May his soul rest in peace. And maybe 20 other ministers. They left their government jobs for the cause, to stand on the right side of history, on the side of the people. We need such men and women now to gravitate together, to walk together towards, even though it's difficult, it's threatening because of brutality, because of thuggery coming from party thugs. Let's stand together to deliver economic and social independence. A change of government is inevitable. It's not a crime. It's not a sin. It's constitutional. We're in a democracy. We can only achieve that by standing together and not talk about isms. Hunger does not recognize uyu ni muloshi, uyu ni muvemba, uyu ni mutonga, uyu ni mutumbuka. Inyokola, njala inyokola chapi. Ila suma. So let us work together to bring decency back to our country, to bring progress back to our country, and we will do our part. I ask the youth, I ask the women, I ask the men to do their part. So towards this agenda, soldiering towards a change of government legally through an election, free, fair election, that will deliver an opportunity, new, renewed opportunity for this country. You can't do that without national registration cards. Get your national registration cards, get your voters' cards, turn out to vote. Number 3, number 4, protect your vote. The rest, our team, Bally and the team, all of the people of Zambia, in unity, across the provinces of Zambia, UPND cabinet table will have ministers from all the provinces of Zambia, all of them, because they're all skilled. They've all produced skilled people. And then, in that unity, platform of unity, we will deliver the country. Don't lose hope, because help is on the way.
Perfect.
God bless Zambia.
Thank you. So there you have it. We were talking to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, commonly known as HH. And recently he picked a name, a street name, aka Bally. Bally will fix it. You asked for Ignite with Mwangala to talk to him, and we brought Mr. HH to Ignite with Mwangala. This has been Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Join me for another exciting episode of Ignite with Mwangala.